Okay, recording.
Okay, so my music video idea, the song I want to use is one that I have composed in collaboration with my dad, actually, and I worked on it over the summer. He came up with the melody and the tune, which is the same thing, sorry, and I wrote the lyrics. So they are kind of bad lyrics, but they cover the purpose that I need. No, I haven't displayed the lyrics because I'm embarrassed by them, so I'm hoping, my intention is to focus on the visual aspects of the video, not the lyrics of the song, but they suit my purposes. I have kind of an outline of what I want my music video to look like, so I guess I'll just read it.
Sure.
It's not terribly clear on the screen, so I'll just read it. The opening would be an extreme long shot of the subject, who is going to be a teenage girl about my age. She's going to be by a river, and she'll be just watching it flow. It cuts to a close-up of her face, which is concealed behind a mask, but it's just basically standing there watching this river, so it kind of gives this contemplative sense. The next shot is a close-up of her hands holding a paper boat. Then there's a cut back to a medium-long shot of her looking down at the river, and it fades to black. At this point, sounds are diegetic. The music hasn't come in yet.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an introduction to the video.
Yeah.
Sets up this narrative enigma as who this person is, what's the story going to be about.
Good.
So then there's this moment of silence and blackness. And as the music starts, what I quite like to have is multiple extreme close-ups of different parts of the subject, but she's no longer by the river, she's like against a plain background, and I want to use a green screen kind of set up for most of it, because it'll kind of like show as if like this is inside her mind, she's thinking about things. Like, because I'll explain more in a minute. And then it'll be so different extreme close-ups of her. So then it kind of transitions into the main bulk of the song. I can't visualize how it would go just yet, because obviously I've got the footage, but it's basically going to be a compilation of lots of different shots. Some of it will be in the present tense of this figure in her mask, standing there, either dancing, she'll either be staring at the camera, dancing, watching the action unfold on the green screen behind her, or looking off camera. And it kind of creates this sense of like, she's contemplating things, she's thinking things, which ties to the lyrics of the song, because the song is basically about like transition in life, and it's like, you know, life is scary, and soon there are going to be big changes ahead. So it's kind of this moment of just want to be a little bit carefree, but remember all the good things that have happened. Which brings me on to what will be on the green screen. And it's basically lots of GoPro footage from first person point of view. So it'll be, I've written a few different things down, so like riding bikes, climbing trees, walking a dog, jumping into water, all these kind of different things to show like fun, happy, carefree memories. And this subject will be kind of either like remembering, I'm just pretending the green screen's running, either like remembering what's going on behind her, or watching it as if it's like playing out like a film behind her, as the lyrics of the song play.
Right. So rather than a green screen, is that more a question of projecting it onto her?
It could be projection. I did quite like the idea, but then I need to find a projector. Do we have one?
Do we have projectors? Yeah, we've got projectors all over the place. Yeah.
That's a silly question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Of course we have projectors.
Yeah. So we could get our hands on a projector and put it anywhere, really.
Well, I was thinking, I had intended in terms of location to be quite simple, really. For the shots of the subject, and the shots of the subject by the river is just going to be by the river that goes through Ilkley, where, like, by the park. But the shots of her in front of the green screen or in front of the projector will be, I just thought we could do in school like we did for the music video we tried.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, so that in terms of location. I quite like the idea of GoPro because it's portable and it kind of gives that shaky shot, and it gives a different view to the cinematic elements that a camera would.
Yeah.
So, and also you could like, if
can.
I film it, I just attach it and it'd be that first person point of view, like that, which I quite like the idea of. Anyway, so the majority of the video during the lyrics will be a mix match of that. All kind of telling the story of her remembering and savouring the important, nice, fun moments in life.
Sure.
At the end of the video, the song ends and it'll cut back to a medium-long shot of the subject by the river. They'll still be watching the water, but then they kind of like have this moment where they're like, you know, they've accepted the moment's passed, it's time to move on. So they'll put the boat into the water, symbolism, blah, 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 and it will float away. And then I quite like the idea of having a medium close-up of the subject watching and then taking off the mask. Although I still don't want you to see the face of whoever's, you know, behind it. So I wanted then to cut, before you saw the face, to a low-angle shot of the mask falling to the ground and the person's shoes walking away.
Okay.
Which I quite liked. It's just a way of ending the video. And then I thought you could have it cut back to the original shot from like a distance with the person just walking away and kind of like the river, and then it just fades to black.
Yeah.
Which is, it felt like a nice cyclical way to end the video. So just, the only other thing that I considered was iconography. Because obviously we have to create a brand for our singer and things like that. And I really liked the idea of masks, because kind of, it makes it easier for people to relate. Because we can all basically envision ourselves as whoever this person is behind the mask. I like the idea of a plain one, because it's humanoid and devoid of emotions. But I also really liked, I was Googling it last night, and I really liked the geometric animal shaped ones, like the bear. I think this is a wolf of some kind, and this is a rabbit. So I'm still going to think about the symbolism behind which mask I choose, but I definitely want to have a mask.
Good. Are we gonna be hearing you singing them?
No. Absolutely not. No. I have a singer lined up who will record it.
Okay. What I'm thinking about is the identity that you're going to, like, who is the artist?
Right. Okay. My initial plan was over the summer. My initial music video plan was quite different to this.
Yeah.
I was going to actually feature the singer performing at certain parts of the video. But due to a mix-up with cameras and poor scheduling on my behalf, I was unable to get the footage I needed. And also, the thing is, my singer is actually 14 years old.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and while she does look like an adult and can look like an adult, I was cautious of my audience. I didn't want to have a young preteen audience. Because that, like, having a younger singer invites a preteen audience. I wanted a slightly older audience. So I had thought about it. Before I happened onto the idea of the masks, I adjusted my ideas and accepted that I was going to do it here, and I would just use someone else and maybe have them lip sync, because my singer is not in the country, she's in the Caribbean.
Why?
Because it's my sister, and she lives in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean?
Which is where I'm from.
Which is where Nicola's from.
What? Is the Cayman Islands in the Caribbean?
Yes. Yeah, anyway, so I was actually going to use Rose Blackburn as my subject, because I used her last year,
Yeah.
which is great. so I had toyed with the idea of just getting her to lip sync and pretend that she was the actual singer.
Yeah.
You know, because
You could do
for
that.
the purposes of this video, it's my song.
Yeah.
And it's.
If she's up for
there's no
having,
copyright issues or anything like
if she's
that.
up for that, and she's up for having lots of photos taken of her, because presumably you'd be photographing
Yeah.
her to use on
Yeah.
your album cover, maybe.
But that was the thing though. I thought it might look a bit cheesy to try and get her to sing the lyrics, especially if I don't have another performance element.
I like music videos where the singers sing like the odd line and then don't.
Like mouth it and then kind of move on.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah.
I like it when they do that.
I mean, I have toyed with the idea of looking, and I've toyed with star focus or star dress, whatever.
Mode of address.
Star
Star
treatment.
treatment.
That's the
Yeah.
one. I mean, I've toyed with all these ideas, but I think I like the idea of the mask just because, I mean, you know, because was it Deadmau 5 and, is that how you say it? Yeah. And then you've also got Sia, who kind of have these hidden identities.
Yeah.
And I really,
Daft Punk.
I just like the artistic
Yeah.
kind of edge of the hidden identities, and I think that could be something I cultivate as part of this brand that I will create this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I chose the mask. Also, it kind of makes it easier on the actress then. They just have to kind
Sure.
of don't have to worry so much about facial expressions.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, that's great. Any that's brilliant. Yeah. Thank you. Any questions?
How are you going to include lip sync on mask?
Well, the lip syncing would have been there before the mask. Like before I decided I wanted a mask. But now because of the mask, I don't really want the lip syncing. It's like, yeah. It's okay.
You might have said it's going to be set in Oakley, like Oakley River.
Yeah, I originally really wanted it to be filmed in Cayman.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Cayman, where I'm from. Yeah, I intended to get a lot of it done, well, all of it done before I came back, but, you know, summer gets away from you.
Summer does got away from all of us, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's some beautiful locations. Valley of Desolation, if you know the Valley of Desolation. Do we all know the Valley of Desolation?
The rocky,
I mean, just the name.
bit up there?
No, over towards Bolton Abbey. You know, down up.
I'll have to go look.
Yeah, just beyond. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, there are some.
It's
I
called
mean,
the
there are
Valley of
some lovely
Desolation.
places around.
That's what it's called.
It sounds like some sort of.
It does.
I've been there before. It's not bad. It doesn't deserve the name.
Yeah, I use quite as well. Like masks and
But it's a great location. I'm just saying, don't overlook. Don't overlook your locations that we've got on our doorstep. Don't overlook it. If you were like kids from an inner city estate in Leeds, the Strid would be.
Really cool SG still.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. They don't. I've taught media in a city urban environment, and that's the last thing they want to do. And you're just like saying, just look at that wall over there. It's full of like graffiti, and they're just like.
That's less than the Premier League football match.